It's funny, most adults that you meet, everybody has memories of the period of doing their exams. As Eamon was explaining, he remembers a very hot summer. I remember my headmistress coming into the school and sitting us down in the common room, and she had a very hushed voice, and we were all very respectful and a little bit afraid of her. And she basically quizzed each of us on what time we were going to bed. And it was absolutely drilled into us that we had to make sure we had a good night's sleep. How important is that, and what tips can you give to people, someone like me, who from a very young age developed insomnia as a schoolgirl because I was worrying about exams and keeping up and everything else? What advice would you give to people who struggle with that?
Yeah, so definitely good sleep is really important. If your child is struggling sleeping, make sure they have a bath 2 hours before they go to bed, really hot bath. It reduces and cools the body, and that actually helps you get to sleep. Make sure they're eating well, not having loads of sugary snacks. That's not going to be helpful. Make sure that they're taking lots of breaks when they're revising. The brain cannot compute and control and contain information when you're just overloaded with it. So get them outside. You know, if they're doing 40 minutes revision, make them go out in the sun. As you were saying, it's lovely weather. Get some white light on their skin. Also, sit down with them and reassure them that, like I said, no one's going to measure the whole them. Those exams aren't going to know that they're one of the kindest, most compassionate kids that potentially has the power to change the world down the line because of those qualities. Kind of reassure them that you love them in spite of their grades, and that they're always going to have a safe place and a safe space. That goes a long way. Like you said, I think you absolutely stated it brilliantly. You look back, look how successful you are now, but look how anxiety-ridden you were at that moment in time. It's moments like that that we just need people to sweep in and say, it's going to be okay. Whatever happens, we'll find your A game. It might not be this A game, but we'll find it together. That's how you really help to navigate these difficult times. And don't get me wrong, there'll be kids out there now whose parents are just pulling the hair out because the kids have done no work. I know that's really tough. And when your kids fail some of those exams, that's going to be a real wake-up call for them. And that's helpful too, because you can always resit exams, but the life lesson you get where you realise you can't just wing it all the time, that can also be really helpful. But equally, for those kids who are trying, and as you said, staying up late, bring them back into check and remind them no matter what their grades are on that day, ultimately they have a whole life to lead, and there is a plan B, C, D, E, and all the rest of the alphabet, and they're good enough exactly as they are.